Let's start. So just do a quick check that you have a block, strap, roll, and a blanket for class today. Sit up. Close your eyes and straight away make that switch into your best quality of attention. Align your skull bones over your sit bones. Leave all of your props aside. And begin that ujjayi whispered breathing. Close your eyes. So your theme for tonight is getting into the hips. So right now, begin to feel for an area in your back that you want to work on tonight as we work in the hips. Take a huge breath into your low back. So expanding the breath down. Exhale, pull belly in. Inhale, send your breath into your mid-back, the low ribs, the diaphragm. So feeling out that spot. Take another breath up around your shoulders, collarbones, underarms. So using your breath to strip away another layer to see where needs your attention. Now set your hands on the area or the part of your back that you are going to work on. If putting your hands on that spot is tricky from the back part, set it on the front part at the same level of where you're working in your back. Close your eyes. With your hands working on the spot or bringing your awareness to the spot, breathe in a way that moves that spot. Begin to run energy through your hands into that area. If you don't know what we mean by that, feel the spot responding to your breath under your hands. That'll do. Stay attentive to this spot the whole way through your practice. Bring the soles of your feet together into Baddha Konasana. Use your fingertips behind you to take you into a bit of a chest opener. If you're at the wall, use the hands on the shins to do the same thing. Lift your ribs and your diaphragm up away from your pelvis. So your pranayama is inhale for 10, hold for 10, ginormous exhale, and then holding for 10, letting the belly pull in and the diaphragm scoop up into Uddiyana, 3 rounds. So when you're holding the breath on the inhale, soften that part of your back. If you're working with a tweaky low back, stay upright for the whole 3 rounds. If your back feels okay, when you do the exhale, take the arms forwards, bracing the forearms or the elbows against the shins, telescoping the ribs with a cobra action whilst you do the Uddiyana. So the aim is to create space between the low ribs and your pelvis. So if that means forward bend, great. If it doesn't, stay upright. Close your eyes. So 3 rounds. Inhale 10, hold 10, big exhale, hold for 10 with Uddiyana. Do this with your eyes closed. Practice, focus. So as you hold your breath, soften internally. So let the diaphragm soften, the low belly, the pelvic floor. Wake up the energy lines in your legs by pressing the heels, the ball of the foot together, and spreading the toes out. So using active feet to give you a new way to sparkle up your legs. If you finish early, then come into Baddha Konasana forward bend and be there. Finishing up. Sit up tall for unlocking the hips. Move the feet a little bit away from the pelvis so that your hips are not already jamming up. Pay attention to that spot that you've chosen to work on and absolutely move your breath into that spot. Lean onto your right sit bone so your left sit bone is up off of the floor. Keep your feet active, so it's just a little lift. Take a hold of the left thigh with both hands. Inhale, pull left thigh bone away from your pelvis. Exhale, set left sit bone down. Left hand stays on the thigh, pulling thigh bone in the direction of the knee. Take the right hand out to the side as if you were doing side bend. Inhale, lift your ribs away from your pelvis. Exhale, press down and away with the left palm on the left thigh. Move the breath into left side of low back. Stay in the pose. Exhale everything out. Inhale, lift the low ribs away from left hip. How does that feel on that side? Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. Can you take the hand more to here? Pull thigh bone that way, but lean weight into the sit bone. That's it. Now inhale, lift the hip up. Yeah. So wash your breath through left side of low back and hip. So I know you're focusing on your back right now, but send your breath into left hip and you will get your back. Second stage, you may need to move your right hand around. Exhale, turn the torso more towards your right leg, folding down over the right leg. Inhale, lift the front ribs away from your pubic bone. Diaphragm moves away from navel. Exhale, relax your neck. Breathe into left side of low back, maybe mid back. Close your eyes. So if you're still distracting yourself, just notice you keep doing that. Jacqueline, keep the left hand on your left thigh for now and press the thigh bone away. Bring your feet back to aliveness. Some of you heard that as come out of the pose. I said bring your feet back to aliveness. So you're still doing unlocking the hips. Inhale, bring your body up to center. So just the first two stages. Rock onto your left sit bone, right sit bone is up. Take a hold of right thigh with both hands. Inhale, draw the thigh bone away from your pelvis and slightly down. Exhale, set right sit bone down. Right hand stays on the right thigh. Left arm is out to the side about 18 inches as if you were doing side bend. Inhale, lift your ribs up away from the pelvis. Keep your torso facing the front of your mat so you're not spiraling just yet. So line your left hand up with your left hip. Yeah. Inhale, lift low ribs away from your pelvis. Get really interested in creating space. Exhale, relax your neck. Inhale, balloon breath into right side of low belly, right hip, low back. So right into here. Exhale everything out. Stay in the pose. Inhale, lift your ribs up away from pelvis. Pay attention to your low back ribs. Second stage, exhale, turn your torso down over that left leg. You may need to move the left hand so you can get in on the diagonal. Continue to press down with the right palm. Inhale, telescope your ribs forwards and up, lifting diaphragm and low front ribs away from your thigh. Exhale, relax your shoulders and your neck. Feet are vibrantly lit, toes spreading. Do that in a way that doesn't strain your feet. Soften your mid-back. Inhale, lift your mid-back away from your low back. Inhale, bring your torso up. Straighten your legs forwards. Wall people, bring your backs away from the wall. Coming down onto your back for star spiral pulse, doing slow pulses instead of the fast ones that some of you do. Followed by frog lifting through. If your hips, inner thighs, hip flexors feel okay with it, working straddle lifting through. If you're really close to the wall, just come away from the wall a little bit so that you don't kick the wall. Come down onto your back for a star spiral pulse. Interlace your fingers and take them to the webbing where your skull and your spine meet and wrap the elbows in towards one another. Lift the knees up so the knees are over the hips. Heels are slightly lower than the knees. Feet vibrantly active, toes spreading. So you feel your calves, your feet starting to wake up. Cat, bring your knees over your hips a bit more. That's it. Lift your head and shoulders up from the floor. Press the low ribs on your back into the floor. Press low back into the floor and top rim of sacrum, so the top rim of your pelvis, into the floor. So you're doing this in a way that actually brings energy and space into your back rather than tweaking it out. Inhale, press low back down. Hold the breath, curl tailbone up. Exhale, reach elbows to left leg. Send your right leg straight up. Flex the foot and turn the heel in. Take another deep breath here. Keep the leg up. 3 pulses of the heel as you exhale. Pull belly down. Inhale, bend the legs, knees over the hips. Hold your breath. Press top rim of sacrum down, curl tailbone up. Exhale, reach elbows to right leg, left leg goes up. Take another deep breath here. Push low back down. Exhale, pulse the heel up 3 times, pulling belly down. Make sure you do that without scrunching up the waist. So streamlining this now. Inhale, press low back down. Hold the breath. Push top rim of sacrum down, curl tailbone up. Exhale, elbows to left leg, right leg up, pulse heel up 3 times. You pull belly down. Keep sacrum on the floor. Inhale, bend the legs. Hold your breath. Press top rim of sacrum down, curl tailbone up. Exhale, elbows to right leg, left leg up, flex the foot, toes in, pulse heel up 3 times as you pull belly down. So really feel for keeping top rim of sacrum down. Inhale, bend the legs. Feet active. Hold your breath. Press top rim of sacrum down. Curl tailbone up. Exhale, reach elbows to left leg. Right leg up. Toes turn in. Pulse the heel up 3 times. You pull belly down. So thigh bone slowly reaches up. Inhale, bend the legs. Hold your breath. Press top rim of sacrum down. Curl tailbone up. Exhale, elbows to right leg. Left leg up. Flex the foot. Pulse heel up 3 times. Thigh bone reaches up. Pull belly down. Inhale, bend the legs. Now lean your head back slightly. Take another deep breath and spread between your shoulder blades. Hold the breath. Press top rim of sacrum down. Curl tailbone up. Exhale, elbows to left leg, right leg up. Turn the toes in. Pulse the heel up 3 times as you pull belly down. So 3 slow pulses. Inhale, bend the legs. Hold your breath. Press top rim of sacrum down. Curl tailbone up. Exhale, elbows to right leg, left leg up, turn the toes in, pulse heel up 3 times as you pull belly down. Inhale, bend your legs, hold your breath. Press top rim of sacrum down, curl tailbone up. Exhale, elbows to left leg, right leg goes up, flex the foot, turn toes in, pulse heel up 3 times. And notice if your bottom lip is doing the pulse. Inhale, bend your legs, hold your breath. Press low back down, top rim of sacrum down, curl tailbone up. Exhale, elbows to right leg, left leg goes up, turn toes in, pulse the heel up 3 times. Jennifer, straighten that leg out, flex the foot. Inhale, bend the legs, set your head down, set your feet down. So you have a resting moment. It is just a moment. Frog lifting through or straddle lifting through. If you're working straddle, turn side on your mat so you don't interact with your neighbor. Bring your knees up. Wherever you are, keep your pelvis on your yoga mat. Low back tweaky people, you can do this one with the feet on the wall in frog. So just see what would be better for your hips and your low back. Jacqueline, you don't need that roll yet. Don't worry. That's a bit more exciting. Bring your knees up so your knees are over your hips for frog lifting through, or if you wish to up level to straddle lifting through, you're straightening the legs out. So knees over hips. Take the knees wide, feet flexing. Shins are parallel to the floor, knees in line with the hips. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Wrap the elbows in and head and shoulders come up. So there's no holding of the breath here, but your breath needs to be very long and very smooth. Inhale, lift head and shoulders up without pulling on the neck. Press top rim of sacrum down. Exhale, curl tailbone up, curl pubic bone towards your navel, thigh bones reach out, belly pulls down. Inhale, relax the hips, keep the shoulders up. Exhale, press top rim of sacrum down, curl tailbone up, pull pubic bone towards the navel, thigh bones reach out, belly down. Those of you working in straddle, flex your feet. Inhale, relax the hips, bring shoulders down 1 inch. Exhale, curl, tailbone up. Top rim of sacrum is down, thigh bones reach out, belly pulls down. Inhale, relax the hips, keep the shoulders hovering off the floor. Push top rim of sacrum down. Exhale, curl tailbone up. Pubic bone pulls to navel. Thigh bones reach out. Belly button pulls down. So pull low belly down, Willow. That's it. Inhale, relax the hips. Exhale, curl head and shoulders up. Curl tailbone up. Pubic bone pulls to navel. Pull belly down. Inhale, relax your hips. Those of you working in straddle, reach out through the ball of the foot. Exhale, curl tailbone up. Curl pubic bone to navel, reach thigh bones out, reach out through active feet, belly down. Inhale, relax the hips, let the shoulders come down a little bit, not all the way down. Take another deep breath here, spread between your shoulder blades. Exhale, press top rim of sacrum down, curl tailbone up, thigh bones reach out, belly button pulls down. Inhale, relax your hips. Exhale, curl head and shoulders up. Curl tailbone up, curl pubic bone towards navel, thigh bones reach out, belly pulls down. Inhale, put your head down. Use your hands outside your legs to bring the legs back together and set your feet down to the floor. Roll to your left-hand side. Use your arms to bring yourself up from the floor, using left hand to bring your head up last. Turbo dog with a roll. It's easier if you get the roll between your heels first when you're on your hands and your knees. So come on at all fours. Put the roll between your ankles already. And take the hands so they are shoulder distance, hand bones spreading as wide as possible. So you're using this to switch on chest muscles, that wrapping in the shoulders, but also the same similar muscles around the inner thighs, that squeezing inwards that usually is very absent in dolphins and down dogs. Bend your elbows. Inhale, lift the space between the shoulder blades up slightly. Exhale, wrap your shoulders, squeeze chest muscles, tuck your toes, lift the knees up, and squeeze the roll between your ankles. If you tighten the hamstrings or it's making it difficult for your shoulders, bend your knees a lot. Bend the elbows towards the floor. Inhale, lift your ribs away from your shoulders. Exhale, press down into the base of your fingers, wrap elbows in towards one another. So squeeze in, Angus. Yeah, then relax your neck. Inhale, lift your back towards the sky. Exhale, reach down to your heels. So switch on your inner thighs by squeezing that roll with your ankles and reaching down through your heels. Stay in the pose and breathe to connect to your legs and your hips. Create space around that spot in your back. Jill, bend your elbows. So this is a turbo down dog. Bend the elbows. Inhale into the side ribs. Exhale, set your knees down. Sit up. Grab your block, set that roll aside. Dolphin, palms up. With the block will be at the forearms on its widest setting so that your wrists are not restricted. It also can't be at your elbows, otherwise your arms will still collapse with an internal rotation. The block is here to stop that from happening, not to help it happen. So it's just under the wrist. So see where the gloves are? You can still move the wrist bones. Set your arms down so the palms face up. You can do this without a block. If your shoulders are tweaky, this is a pretty good option for you. Have the palms facing up and then lift the elbows so you're letting all the skin and connective tissue that keeps the ulna and the radius stuck kind of pop so that it's more movable. Spread the hand bones and roll the thumbs towards the floor. Inhale, lift between the shoulder blades. Exhale, wrap your shoulders, squeezing chest muscles. Tuck the toes and lift your knees up. Now your head may be resting on the block. It may be able to hang down through the middle, but knees up. Now have your feet almost mat distance apart. Bend your knees. So those of you that are using your eyes, use your ears instead. Inhale, lift your ribs away from your shoulders. Exhale, squeeze elbows in towards that block. With the knees bent, inhale, move your ribs towards your thighs. Exhale, send sit bones towards the ceiling. Breathe into that part of your back that you're working on just now. Create space around it without being in child's pose to create it. Lift here up. Yes, good. Press down through the backs of your wrists. Spread the hand bones wide. So remember, you've got exhale through the mouth and lions as part of your toolkit whenever you need it. Jillian, watch the back of the necks coming up. That's it. Set your knees down. Stand up. Turn to face the left side of your mat. 4-direction Agni Sara in horse with hand passes. Have your feet about 3 feet distance apart. Turn your feet out 45 degrees and bend the legs so you're coming into horse. Those of you that are back or knee sensitive, you can do this with the pelvis and the shoulders resting against the wall. This is also an up level. Those of you that want to work more with your back. So if you want to do that, do that. Set your left hand atop your right and come down into horse. So you're working a slow round of Agni Sara for the first 4 directions, and then a fast Agni Sara on the second 4. We're doing it together. Take a deep breath in, lift the ribs up. Exhale, press the arms up. Hold the breath, slow Agni Sara, pulling into Uddiyana and softening and re-engaging. Lift from pelvic floor. Inhale, bring the arms out to the side, bringing the hands together. Exhale, press out to the sides of the room. Feet active. Slow Agni still. Inhale, bring the arms up. Draw the hands back, opening up the chest. Exhale, press forwards. Get empty. Slow Agni. Inhale, bring the hands in. Exhale, press down. Keep your shoulders over your hips. Slow round, feet up, feet active. Inhale, set left hand in the right for fast Agni. Exhale, press up. Pull belly in. Go faster than you can think. Inhale, bring the arms out, hands together. Exhale, press out to the side. Get out of your head and into your guts. Inhale, bring the arms up. Draw the arms back, opening up the chest. Exhale, press forwards. Hold the breath out. Inhale, bring the hands in. Exhale, press down. Willow, come down. Inhale, straighten your legs out. Exhale, heel toe your feet towards one another and step to the front of your mat. Keep that ujjayi whisper quality to your breathing the whole time. B series with 3 pose vignettes. We're getting down to business pretty quick today. Feet together at the front of your mat. Chair, inhale, bend the legs, reach the arms up, lifting the ribs up. Forward bend. Exhale, pull belly in, neck relax, bring the hands to the floor. Hands are flat. Inhale, scoop your ribs away from your pelvis, neck relaxing. Chaturanga, if you're hopping back, bend the elbows as you land. If not, step back, bend the elbows, shoulders away from the ears and away from the floor. Low cobra, bring the arms forwards. If it's better for your back, have the legs hip distance. Inhale, pull with the arms, lifting the elbows, shoulder blades down. Downward facing dog. Exhale, hands under the shoulders, lift the knees up, wrap your shoulders. Warrior 2 with kite hawk. Inhale, step left foot between your palms. Set the right foot down so it's parallel to the back of the mat. Come up, left leg is bent. If you drew a line from left heel, it would bisect the right arch. Take the arms up, spin the palms to face up. Inhale, roll the palms to face up more. Thumbs are moving towards the floor as you lift breastbone up. Exhale, roll the palms the other way, so rolling shoulder heads forward, shoulder blades lift slightly. Inhale, roll the palms, so palms face up, lift breastbone up. Michael, go wider. Exhale, roll the arms, so shoulder heads come forwards. Do 3 more like that. So inhale, breastbone lifts, feet active. Exhale, and let the shoulders come up. Head goes forward slightly. Jennifer, not so much with the head. So keep the head up. So it's just a little bit of a dip forwards, but not right down. So just a little bit, yeah. So it's more of a upper back move, yeah. Use this to free up your shoulders rather than going in to abuse those gritty bits. So stay away from the crunch and the clunk. If that means a very small amount of movement, all right. Extended warrior variation. So finish up where you are. Turn the palms to face up and bring shoulder blades down. Trapezius is lengthened. Exhale, set left forearm onto left thigh. Right arm comes behind the back to grab waistband or your left inner thigh. Inhale, arc your ribs towards the front of the room. Exhale, move your left sit bone and hip towards the floor. Tailbone tucks towards the right heel. Inhale into right side of low back. Exhale, relax left ear towards left shoulder. Keep left palm facing the ceiling so you can actually draw that shoulder down. Press the hips that way a little bit more. Notice that foot's a little turned in. Okay, something left sit bone down. Inhale, move forwards from here. Exhale, shoulder down. That's it. Does that feel okay? Pyramid back traction with Uddiyanas. Set the hands down and reset the right leg for more of a warrior 1 position, shortening the stance to about 3 feet. Feet are about a foot apart widthways. Bring the hands up, right up into your hip crease, and press so you can straighten the legs and lengthen out your spine so the chest is more parallel to the floor. Do 2 rounds of Uddiyana here, so big inhale, massive exhale, holds for 8. As you do the Uddiyana, move your low ribs away from pubic bone, shoulders down. Use this to navigate your back. Brahman, draw the left hip back a little bit, and then take that right hand to the inside left leg and press. So get in more towards the groin. That resistance will help that hamstring heal. Jill, telescope your ribs forwards a bit more. Chaturanga. Exhale, set your hands down, step the feet back, bend the elbows and lower down. Low cobra. Inhale, pull with the arms, tailbone tucks towards the heels. Down dog. Exhale, hands under the shoulders, lift the knees up, wrap shoulder blades. Warrior 2 with kite hawk. Step right foot between the palms, left foot down to the back of the mat. Take the arms out to the sides, palms up. Inhale, roll the palms to the ceiling as you lift breastbone up. Exhale, spin the palms the other way, letting it move the shoulders. Shoulder heads roll forwards, shoulder blades slide up slightly. Inhale, roll the palms up, lift the chest up. Exhale, roll from the arms rather than just your wrists. Do 3 more like that. So imagine that you are spreading your big kite hawk wings out wider and wider. And you're going up and down over different air currents. So you stay really buoyant and light in your chest. How's that moving the right shoulder, Amy? It's not doing anything? Okay, I just didn't want it to be hurting it. Extended warrior. Inhale, turn palms up, shoulder blades relax down. Exhale, set right forearm onto right thigh, left arm behind the back to grab waistband or inner thigh. Inhale, telescope your low ribs away from your pelvis. Exhale, lean your shoulders back, shoulder blades down, and relax your neck. Move your right sit bone towards the floor, but right hip is coming underneath the left. There's a tendency in neck release that the breath gets a little short, so move your diaphragm. So get the breath, opening it up in there. Turn your left foot in a bit more, Scott. Okay, that's it. And then just push into it. Inhale, move forwards here. Exhale, let the shoulder ease down away from the ear. And then relax the neck that way. Is it pinching in the front here at all? No. Arm? No? Okay, good. Pyramid with back traction. Reset your legs so you're turning the left toes to point to the upper left corner of the mat. Feet are about hip distance widthways. Both hands are up into the hip crease of the straight right leg. Now push strongly into your left leg first. Inhale, scoop your ribs forwards and up like cobra away from your right hip. Exhale, everything out through the mouth. Pull into Uddiyana, holding for 8, and then repeat that for 1 more after that. Turbo dog. Exhale, set your hands down, step back, bend the elbows towards the floor, wrapping your shoulders. Do that same energetic switching on of your inner thighs, but without putting the roll in there. Michael, take your hands wider rather than narrower. Wider than that. You got big shoulders. Bakasana. Either step forwards or hop forwards, catching your baka shins on your arms. So you're using turbo dog arms, lifting mid-back towards the ceiling, which is pretty much everything you've been working so far. Those of you who are building into baka, set the shins onto the arms. Feet are on the floor and begin leaning forward. So it's an experimentation. Wrapping in the shoulders, back of the neck is long, and feeling for transferring the weight. If you are disabling yourself from trying because you're saying this is an arm balance and it's relegated to a list of moves that I don't do, then can you recognize there's still a lot of you on the floor. So if your feet are on the floor, you don't need to lift them up. Is that crow splat? Step back into down dog. Some of you may need a strap for the next move. Archer, warrior one. Inhale, step left foot between the palms. Set the feet into warrior one, left toes forwards, right toes to the upper right corner of the mat, and square the hips off. Inhale, reach right arm up, left arm down. Exhale, bring the right arm behind the nape of the neck, taking the left arm under. If you need the strap, strap is in the right hand, feeding it down so you can hold it in the left. Inhale, around that right shoulder. Exhale, soften the right trapezius and wrap right shoulder blade towards the underarm. With the wrap, inhale, lift right side of the ribs up. Bend the left leg, look forwards rather than down. Well, I just watch left ribs have scrunched up, so not so much forwards, more up. Yeah. And then come into that front leg a bit more. Inhale, lift the front of your left hip away from your left thigh. Jill, bend your leg more. Yeah. Press strongly through both feet. Lounge lunge. Inhale, release the arms. Set your right knee down, get padding underneath the right knee. Sink into the hips. Left elbow braces at your left hip. Fingertips wrap the shins. Right hand is about 6 inches in front of the plug line of your right shoulder. Exhale, move right ribs down towards the floor, neck relaxing, either right ear onto right shoulder, or head hanging down, or head onto your leg. Inhale, soften your spine down towards the floor. Start to target your breath into that spot in your back, paying attention to it. Soften that side of your back towards your right arm. Inhale, move right side of your ribs towards your left thigh. Exhale, pull with your left arm so your leg isn't drifting out to the side. Jennifer, that front foot needs to be flat all the time in any lunge. Yeah, so move the foot further forward so the heel can stay down. Further forwards than that. Okay, now sink into the legs. Keep the heel down, but pull that left leg in towards you. Use your left arm. That's it. Squeeze right sit bone towards your tailbone. Twisting lunge. Set both hands down, bring the hips over the right knee, keep the padding under the knee, and bring shoulders up over your hips. Keep your left leg forwards. Inhale, bring right arm up, make a fist with the right hand. Exhale, keep the right side of your ribs long and hook left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Left hand stacks on top. Inhale, lift ribs up away from your left thigh. Exhale, lean your shoulders back, shoulder blades down your back, and neck relaxing. Exhale everything out, but stay in the pose. Inhale, move your right ribs away from your right hip. Exhale, move diaphragm away from your legs. This can be an interesting place to explore in Uddiyana. So you can begin to work with your back from the inside out, especially low back. Chaturanga. Inhale, release, set the hands down, step the feet back. Use the inner thighs as you lower down onto your abdominals. Boat. with the sit bones. Reach back, take a hold of your sit bones. So one hand per sit bone. Tuck your toes under. So those of you who lifted your head to find out what toes are, put your head back down. Tuck the toes and pull the heels towards the back of the room so your kneecaps lift. Tuck tailbone towards the heels, squeeze sit bones towards tailbone. Inhale, telescope your ribs forwards and up. Exhale, draw your shoulder blades down and relax your neck. Down dog. Exhale, hands under the shoulders, knees up. Straighten the legs. Archer warrior. Inhale, right foot between the palms. Be clunk free as you step forwards. Reset that left foot, so left toes point to the upper left corner. Inhale, left arm up, right arm down. Exhale, bring the arms behind the back to find the fingers, or use a strap in the left hand to find the right fingers. Bend into your right leg. Inhale, telescope your ribs up away from the hips. Exhale, wrap left shoulder blade towards the underarm. Inhale, lift the ribs on the left side up. If your right shoulder is up, resist the urge to drag it anywhere, but begin to soften those muscles. If you're being really righteous that your spot is your low back and you don't give a damn what your shoulders are doing, you still need to think about your shoulders even if your spot is your low back. Otherwise, your shoulders are definitely going to be your spot tomorrow. Lounge lunge. Exhale. Set your hands down. Set the left knee down, padding under the left knee. Sink the hips down, keeping the right heel connected to the floor. Move the left hand out in front of you so it's about 6 inches in front of the plug line of your left shoulder. Brace your right elbow at your right hip. Make sure your right foot stays flat. Exhale, arc left ribs down towards the floor. Left hip is coming down towards the floor. Inhale, move left side of your chest towards your right heel. Exhale, squeeze left sit bone towards tailbone. So Brahman, reach out through that left thigh bone. So you want to keep it really quite energetic. Pull with the right forearm so your leg doesn't drift away from you. Now those of you that are grabbing in your neck and frantically staring around the room, you are yanking on your spine, which is stopping you from actually getting the spinal element of this. Inhale, relax your spine towards the floor. So left ribs, all the muscles that connect into the left side of spine are arcing down. That is a deep release. And it just doesn't happen if you fidget. So get steady. Twisting lunge. Inhale, set the hands down. Bring your hips over the left knee. Bring the shoulders up over the hips. If you need to reset your feet, left knee is under the left hip. Inhale, bring left arm up. Make a fist with the left hand. Exhale, hook left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Stack right hand on top. Inhale, lift ribs away from your right thigh. Exhale, draw the right hip back, lean your shoulders back, shoulder blades down. Inhale, feel for creating space between your low ribs and your pelvis. Now, even though you're twisted up, breathe in a way that softens into where your spot is. So you can work it from the inside out. So if it's low back, breathe in a way that massages psoas and low back. If it's around your mid-back, get the side ribs and diaphragm moving. If it's around your shoulders, move shoulders down. Breathe in a way that moves the underarms and the collarbones, but relax your neck. So you're doing that deep work from the inside. It's not always an outside job. If you close your eyes and go inside, you better hope you've got good balance. Down dog. Exhale, set your hands down, step back. Now take your knees down. This next thing needs to be done in 1 minute. Either down dog on the wall, 5 breaths with one leg up, 5 breaths with the other leg back, and then coming back to your mat as soon as possible. Or handstand, Baddha Konasana at the wall. Those of you that are up-leveling handstand Baddha Konasana, have your longest finger touching the wall. Tailbone tucks up. So either down dog on the wall, one leg up, 5 breaths each. Wrist injured people, Dolphin. Or handstand Baddha Konasana. There's space here. So it is only 10 breaths, and they've already started. Down dog on the wall, people. Lift your shoulders away from the floor. So you're pushing down and pushing the earth away from you. Scott, take the feet up a little higher. So not your hands, your feet. So a little higher, about there. And now straighten the legs out. Yeah, you got it. Send sit bones up. Now push the floor away from your shoulders. That's it. So I'm just going to let you feel some of the weight. That's it. Keep your legs straight. You got it. When you're done with the 10 breaths, come down and come back. We've got a lot to do. Don't just look around the room. All right, good. Do come back. Come in a down dog as soon as you're back, which is now. Reverse warrior. Inhale, left foot between your palms. Set the right foot down so it's parallel to the back of your mat. Square the hips to face right side of the room. Do that check on your feet. Left heel bisects the right arch. Inhale, bring the right arm up and lift right side of your ribs up. Stay spacious on the right side of your back. Exhale, lean the right side over your right leg like side bend, putting the hand onto the thigh or to the calf. Inhale, bring left arm up and over towards the back of the room. Exhale, wrap left shoulder blade to the underarm and reach out through that side. Now stay here for a moment. Inhale down into your left hip and lift the left lip of your hip away from your thigh bone. If today is more of a neck day for you, keep the left hip lifting. Move the left hand closer to the left knee, taking neck release instead. Just let this arm come to the side a little bit. Bend this leg a touch more. Okay. Inhale, lift the hip up. You feel okay?
Yeah, just beautiful.
Okay. We can work with that. Feel for lifting the inside of that right knee up. That's it. Listen into your Ujjayi breathing. Get it big. Interlock warrior. Reach with the left arm as if you were doing neck release to come up. Exhale, left hip draws under the right. Left forearm comes under the left thigh. So you're clasping the hands around your left thigh rather than around your left butt cheek. If that's too strong for today, put the left hand down on the floor to the inside of the left foot. Right arm reaches up for interlock, extended warrior. Angus, go around your left thigh rather than going around your butt. It's just generally when it's the butt, there's more to go around. So left arm comes under the thigh, and the right arm goes over to try and find the fingers about there. Yeah, it's close. Now this is all in the wrist. Turn this wrist. Turn it this way. There we go. Yeah, there you go. See, it's all in the wrist. Now lean your shoulders back. Turn this right foot in a bit more. You got it. Lean shoulders back. Inhale, press your hips that way. Now use your strong leg. So press actively into that left heel to support your leg. Either Ekapada Bakasana or Pigeon. So if an arm balance doesn't feel like your flavor for the vignette, do Pigeon. If you're doing Ekapada Bakasana, you can leave the left foot on the floor, letting the left thigh, left shin come onto the left arm, taking the right leg up. Or left foot is off the floor, right leg goes up. So turbo dog action in the arm, running energy through the legs. further additional thing you can do there is left foot on a block, right leg is coming up. If you're not doing that, come down into pigeon. So folding over that left leg and breathing in the left hip. So Patricia, just work a bit more of an external rotation in the leg for that left one. It's still sort of drifting a little bit out to the side. So you've got enough turbo in the arms for that. Yeah, that's it. So keep pulling left foot to the midline.
Yeah, you can pull it to the, I can feel it with it.
Good. Pigeons, inhale, walk your hands back up, plank. Step the feet back, legs together. Exhale, bend the elbows, lower down to your abdominals for boat. Clasp your hands behind your low back. Low back sensitive people, keep your feet about hip distance apart. Exhale, tuck tailbone towards your heels. Inhale, lift up in chest, lift up in legs. Exhale, tuck tailbone towards the back of the room. If your low back is tweaky, keep the ankles apart or squeeze ankles towards one another. Let forehead rest down so it's almost on the floor. Neck is completely relaxed. Down dog. Exhale, hands down. Press into spread palms, straighten the legs. Reverse warrior. Inhale, right foot between the palms. Set the left foot down, parallel to the back of the mat, and then come on up. Inhale, lift left side of your ribs up. Exhale, lean over the left leg, hand on the thigh or down towards the calf. Inhale, start from the right hip, lift the right hip up, reaching up and over with the right arm towards the back of the room. Exhale, wrap right shoulder blade towards the underarm and reach out. So you're getting that side bend through right hand side. Bend the right leg a bit more, Jillian. If today is more of a neck and shoulder day, then maintain the lift in the right hip, but move right arm down towards your right thigh. So bend this a touch more. Inhale, lift the hip. Okay, stick with that. Bring the hand down a bit more. Inhale, lift up here. Exhale, soften shoulder and trapezius. And more, actually focus more in here. Exhale, let this muscle relax towards your ribs. Brahman, straighten that right arm out. Top one, that's it. Interlock warrior. Inhale, reach with the right arm to bring your body up. Exhale, bring the right arm down to the inside of the right leg, wrapping around to clasp the hands around the thigh. Or if that's a little much for you right now, right hand is to the inside of the right foot. Left arm is up towards the ceiling. So you just did this on the other side. Have the right hand flat to the floor if you're working the down level. If you're not able to do that, you need to bend your leg a lot more. It's not that your arms are too short, it's that you're not bent your legs enough. All right, turn this left foot in. Oh, you're all right. God's not going to help you here. Now lean your shoulders back. Now press your hips towards the radiator. You got it. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let the shoulder come down and let the neck relax. All right. Either Ekapada Bakasana or Pigeon. If you're doing Ekapada Baka, hands are about a turbo distance apart, wrapping in the shoulders, setting the shin bone onto the arm, and transferring the weight so the left leg reaches up, reaching out through the thigh bone. It's a really strong way to work with the abdominals and the back. Those of you in Pigeon, breathe into your back, but also towards pelvic floor and soften your pelvic floor. Is that hip giving you some trouble? No? Okay, move your shin bone forwards more. Okay. Now flex the foot so it points to the side. Keep your thigh bone where it is, but move your pelvis back. Does that feel okay? Those of you in Pigeon, inhale, move your low ribs forwards away from your pelvis. Down dog. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Step straight back and wrap your shoulders. Twisting warrior. Inhale, left foot between your palms. Set right foot up in a warrior one. You don't need to come all the way up. Hook your right elbow over your left leg. Set the left hand on top of there. Inhale, lift your ribs up away from the left leg. If your back is tweaky or right side SI joint is playing up, lift the right heel up. So you've got that change in alignment. Inhale, lift right thigh, right side of your waist up. Exhale, lean your shoulders back, neck relaxing. Tune into the ujjayi sound of your breathing. So, Gail, take your right elbow towards your left leg. So your other right elbow. So twist. Right elbow. That's a right elbow. There you go. Tell me about it. Is the SI giving you any trouble? No. Is it on fire? Okay. Go a little longer with the stance. You can also set the knee down and do it as a lunge if that makes it a little bit nicer for the hip. Remember, you've done 2 classes. Yeah. Pyramid. Either do that back traction that you were working earlier, so shortening your stance a little bit from your warrior one, or hands are coming down onto the shin or onto the floor. If you're doing the traction, you're more than welcome to repeat the Uddiyanas. If your hands are down, inhale to lengthen the low ribs up and away from your leg, so cobra action. Exhale, soften your low back and your mid back. And the neck is completely relaxed. So Brahman, same thing. Right hand to the inside of the left leg. Take it out of hyperextension. And then push your hand into the top of the thigh, squeezing left sit bone towards that hand. It just switches on all the muscle connections around the sit bone. Easy twisting triangle. Have your right hand under your right shoulder, even if you think you don't need to. If your back is sensitive, put your left hand on your low back, and you can run energy through that if that's your spot. Inhale, lengthen your ribs towards the front. Exhale, roll the chest open to face left side of room. Actively push into the right foot. Exhale everything out. Inhale, move your low ribs forwards away from the pelvis. Now, watch this, knees a little rolled in. Yeah. You didn't need to move the foot. So, deep breath up into here. Exhale, roll these ribs back. Oh. Does that feel okay? Chaturanga. Exhale, set your left hand down, step the feet back into plank, lower to your abdominals for boat. Clasp the hands behind your low back. Tuck tailbone towards your heels, squeeze ankles. Inhale, lift up the chest, lift up the legs. Exhale, pull your hands back past your sacrum, but don't lift the arms up too high. Brahman, you able to clasp your hands? There you go. Down dog. Exhale, hands under your shoulders, lift the knees up. Twisting warrior. Inhale, right foot between the hands, back foot set into warrior one. Bring the left elbow straight over the right leg, so you don't need to come all the way up. Brahman, do this as a warrior one position. Turn the left foot in more. Yep. Chest and pelvis face this way. Left elbow over the right knee. There you go. Inhale, lift your ribs up, away from the floor and away from your right leg. Exhale, draw right sit bone back. Lift left side of your pelvis and left thigh up. Exhale everything out. Inhale, lengthen left ribs away from pelvis. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Stuart, push into that right foot and heel rather than the toes gripping. That's it. Send sit bones a little bit up towards the ceiling, just a touch. See what that does for your low back. Pyramid. Exhale, set the hands down, shorten your stance to about a 3-foot stance. Either working the back traction, hands up in the hip crease, straightening at the back, doing Uddiyana, or folding over the legs, hands on the floor or on the shins. If you're folding forwards, exhale everything out. Inhale, lengthen your low front ribs away from pubic bone, collarbones away from low front ribs. Exhale, relax your shoulders. Inhale, move your diaphragm away from your pelvis. Angus, straighten both legs. So back leg needs to be strong. That's it. It'll get spicy in that hamstring. Easy twisting triangle. Left hand is under the left shoulder or on a block. If you're putting right hand on the sacrum, do that and press down into sacrum. Inhale, lengthen the ribs forwards. Exhale, open up the chest, chest facing right side of the room, shoulder blades down the back. Draw your right sit bone towards the back of the room and actively press to your left leg. Michael, turn your left heel in a bit more. And roll the shoulder down, turn your fingers out. Exhale everything out. Inhale, lengthen your ribs away from hips. Yeah. Exhale, lean back a bit. You feel that hip now? Yeah. So breathe into right side of your low back. Willow, push into that left leg. Turbo dog. Exhale, set your hands down. Hands are shoulder width. Step back, wrap your shoulders, and start seeing what's going on in those shoulders just now. Set your knees down, sit up. Either dolphin on the wall, 5 breaths, one leg up, 5 breaths with the other leg up, making sure that there is 0 time wasting, or diving god or diving goddess on the wall, depending on what gender you feel like you are today. If you are doing diving god or goddess, you have the option of doing slow Agni Sara whilst you're there, which is very fun. So this is basically horse in handstand. Pelvis is on the wall. If you're not doing that, dolphin on the wall. So you have 10 breaths and then coming right back to the mat, pretty sharpish when you arrive back to your mat, being down dog. Dolphin on the wall, people. If it's tweaking the shoulders, clasp the hands. All right, Angus, that's good. Reach up through that heel. And now lift here away from the wall. Yes, good. If you're in dolphin on the wall and you're not lifting the leg up, push the heels into the wall. Toe tips lift off of the wall. It just gives you a little more juice. Even if you're doing the leg up, you can do that same move. It's very spicy. All right, diving divinities start to come back into the room. Dolphins, come back. Make this transition pretty sharp. Come into down dog. Waste no time idling, sitting on your butt. You can do that whenever you like, but not right now. Step your left foot forwards, coming into a wide angle standing forward bend. Left toes turn in, feet are parallel. Have your feet about 3 feet distance apart. Fold forwards over the legs. Flank stretch. Inhale, take your right hand to the left ankle. Get a good grab of the ankle. Inhale, move your right ribs towards your right leg. Set the left hand, if you can reach, to the outside of your left foot, or set the left hand over your right hand. It won't do anything. Inhale, arc your spine to the right. Exhale, pull your right elbow down towards the floor. Some of you may even be able to rest the elbow on the floor. Don't just bend your leg to make that happen. That's not the main point. Scott, grab your foot with your right arm. You may need to grab the calf or the ankle, that's fine. But it's all about that right elbow. Okay. So lean the ribs this way. So not so much twisting. So keep your chest facing your legs. Move the ribs this way. Yes. And then pull the elbow down. Keep a hold of the leg. So it's the pull, the strength of the bicep actually pulls you down and gives you more through here. Soften all the muscles around your mid-back and your spine. And relax your neck. So let flank stretch give you this delicious gift. Twisting triangle. Turn your left foot to the front. Reset your feet into that warrior one position. Take the right hand, so you can either be under the right shoulder a second time, or right hand onto the foot, or to the outside of your left foot, or on a block. Inhale, lengthen your ribs away from hips. Exhale, open your chest up to face left side of the room. Now you just did all that work to open up right side of your ribs. Inhale, lengthen right ribs away from right hip. Exhale, twist your chest open. Chill, push into that back foot. The ankles collapsed inside. Shorten your stance. About there, that's it. Now push this part of the foot down. Even more. Even more, that's it. Yeah. And start to straighten that out a touch. That's it. Just the ankle had done this. So it completely collapsed around the joint, which can feel really awful the next day. Stick with this stirrup, but lean this part of your back and your head back. And then relax here. Vertical split. Exhale, set your left hand down. If you're hamstring injured, do lunge. Those of you going, I'm tired, that's what hamstring injured is. That's not it. Shift the weight into your hands. Hands are flat. Turbo dog action in the arms. Inhale, connect your foot down into the earth, your right foot up into the sky, reaching between the two. So it's not about how high your leg is, it's about reaching through the legs, running energy through them. They'll be feeling that by now. So just like in pyramid, inhale, move your ribs away from your pelvis. Exhale, relax your neck. Chaturanga, exhale, step your feet back, bend your elbows and lower to your abdominals. Boat, clasp your hands behind your back, tuck tailbone. Inhale, lift up the chest, lift up the legs. Exhale, pull the arms towards the back of the room, neck relaxed. Down dog, hands under the shoulders, press into the evenly spread palms, lift the knees up. Flank stretch, step right foot between the palms, turn the feet to parallel facing left side of the mat, feet 3 feet distance apart. Inhale, take a hold of right ankle with the left hand. Inhale, move left ribs toward your left thigh. Right hand is either on top of your left hand or outside the right foot, pressing to give you even more juice here. Exhale, bend left elbow down towards the floor. If you're twisting your neck, relax your neck. Feel for relaxing the spine. So from low back to mid back to shoulders to neck. And then arc your spine to the left. So it's such a delicious move. So take this, grab here. Now, pull the elbow down. Yeah. Move your ribs to the left. Take this here, flat, and push that way. Aha. Okay, you feel that coming in here a bit more? Yeah. And then relax the neck. So start to feel for unwinding all these different segments of your spine down the way. So that really flexible forward bend starts to get into the spine a bit more. Twisting triangle. Turn the right foot back to face the front of the room. Left toes to the upper left corner of your mat. Left hand is either under the left shoulder, on the foot, or to the outside of the right foot. Inhale, lengthen the ribs towards the front. Exhale, roll the chest open, right arm reaches up. Mike, put something under that left hand so it can be there, so maybe your block. Inhale, move your low ribs away from pelvis. Exhale, squeeze sit bones towards tailbone, working that energetic as if you were squeezing a roll, and neck relaxes. If your SI joint or sacrum feels a little unsteady, put your right hand on there Press down and run energy through your palm, feeling where your hand is. Vertical split. Exhale, put both hands down, hamstring injured, do lunge. Inhale, shift the weight into the right foot, hands are down. Exhale, wrap your shoulders, neck relaxed. So you don't need to do that on this side if you're able to. Yeah? So wrap your shoulders like turbo dog and then connect between earth and sky. So Jill, right foot down, left leg up. Down dog. Exhale, set the left foot down, step straight back into dog. Pigeon. Inhale, bring left knee forwards between the arms. Move the shin bones so that it's anywhere between a 45-degree angle and parallel to the front of the mat. Flex your left foot regardless of what angle you're working at, so your foot faces the side of the room. It can be any side of the room, even the back of the room, so long as the foot is flexed. Now come down onto your elbows only. Tuck your right toes under, pull the heel towards the back of the room. Right knee is lifted, right thigh bone is lifted. With the elbows down, inhale, lift your ribs away from your pelvis. Exhale, everything out through the mouth for Uddiyana. Hold for an 8 count. Telescope the ribs away from hips as you do the Uddiyana. Do one more. Either pigeon, heel to butt, so setting the right knee down, bringing the heel in, taking a hold of the right heel with the right hand and folding down over the leg, or splits with the back toes tucked plus Uddiyana. So left leg is straightening, right toes are tucked, and doing 2 Uddiyana in splits. If you're hamstring injured, splits may not be a good idea. No. Especially as that's how we got there in the first place. So those of you doing splits, you have a big Uddiyana to do, and I think one will be plenty. I'm trying to stay somewhere in the middle, but if you need to do that to get a hold of it, that's okay, but try to square off. Yeah, it's a strong one. If you're in heel to butt and you're wondering why you don't get anything, tuck your tailbone and see what happens. It should light up. Twisting pigeon towards the foot. Let go of that right leg. If you're in splits, come up. Set your left shin so it's parallel to the front of your mat and sit onto your left hip bone. Right leg can be bent or straight. Either use both hands to pull your breastbone towards your heel, doing pigeon sternum to heel, or hook your left elbow or left shoulder to the outside of the left foot. So you're rolling the chest open. Breathe into that spot in your back that is needing the attention today. Okay, so for today, bring the heel in, right in, and twist towards the thigh this way. So both elbows are down on the floor about there, and arc the ribs to the side. So just until that feels better. Stuart, is that left knee okay? Push out through the inner arch of your foot so that you're trying to lift up here. That's it. Mm-hmm. And then lean back here so you won't fall over. He says. Down dog. Inhale. Walk your hands back to center. Hands under the shoulders. Step straight back. Lots of vignettes this evening. You probably noticed. Pigeon. Exhale. Bring the right knee through between the palms. Come right down into this. Being on the forearms. Tuck the left toes under. Pull your left heel towards the back of the room and tuck tailbone down. Inhale, lengthen your ribs away from hips. Big exhale through the mouth. Hold your breath. Pull belly into Uddiyana, holding for an 8 count. Reach back with the left heel to unwind left hip flexor whilst telescoping diaphragm away from your pelvis. Do another Uddiyana. Right foot is still flexing. Either move this into pigeon heel to butt or set up for splits with the back toes tucked, plus an Uddiyana. So hold for 10 in the Uddiyana once you've set the split up. I know it's a short amount of time. If only we had 4 hours to play together. Doesn't that sound like a dream? Didn't say what kind of dream. Pigeon heel to butts, your aim is to not be on the soft tissue at the inside of the knee if you can help it. So it's a very tender area. Twisting pigeon towards the foot. Bend the right leg in so the shin is parallel to the front of the mat. This one will work, yeah? Exhale, lean weight into your right hip, taking either the right elbow to the outside of the right foot or moving your breastbone towards the heel. Breathe through the spot in your back that you chose, but also into right hip. So your spot is an avenue to get to the hip. So if the elbow isn't hooking to the foot, use both hands on the floor or on the ankle to pull your breastbone that way. Inhale, come on up, swing your left leg around, but don't get too comfortable. Moving into straddle forward bend into titiba, firefly. For most of you, you've done enough forward bending to get into this. You just need to get over that mental hurdle in your brain. One way to do that is by taking your hands wider and strategic placement of the roll. Yeah, because chances are most of you will fall backwards, not fall forward. So you put something behind you, so you land. All of you will be working the wide angle forward bend. Hands are on the floor, turbo action in the arms, telescoping the ribs and the spine down. And you can stay right here. If you're moving into titiba, you can move your hands onto the ankles and start to telescope the ribs more. This just gives you a little bit more. So you're still not going towards firefly, but you're a bit deeper in the forward bend. If you're going into firefly, hands are wider than shoulder distance, bending the elbows. My hands are quite far back, sitting the hips onto the arms. I love that most of you are holding your breath right now. Is he going to fall? Probably not. This is my job. And then just working on getting the feet up. Don't be too concerned about straightening the legs out. That's where most of you become fatal. All right. Now the roll is doing like a little balancing act underneath, everything that's going on there. All right. Okay. So it's there as a safety net, just in case. So do about 5 breaths in this wide angle forward bend, 3 feet distance apart, and then start to navigate into titiba. It doesn't matter which direction you face on your mat, by the way. Is this one left-sided? It's roughly, it'll be symmetrical-ish. Just aim so your head isn't in someone's butt. It's very polite. So you got about 5 breaths in the forward bend. Do that unwinding of inhaling into your low back and unraveling it. And then taking another breath for the mid back and the upper back. So you're doing that spinal unwind. And when you feel like you're ready, you can either grab the ankles and just do a deeper forward bend, or you're starting to navigate the hands back. Hands are slightly wider than your shoulder distance. Turbo dog action in the arms and sitting them down. The trick is to move your hands further back than you think. So you end up sitting on the arms rather than doing a backwards roll. So I'm going to move the roll back just about here because that's really where the hips are going to sit. Okay, I'm right here. Okay, start to move the feet off the floor. Bend your elbows. Yeah. Move your chest forwards. Yeah. Okay. It's strong. Yes, Stuart, good. Ooh, slid down the arms. is a compelling reason to wear leggings. As if you needed more. All right, titty baz, sit down. Classical spinal twist, straighten your legs forwards. Cross your left foot up and over your right leg so the toes are roughly in line with the knee. So right now your brain will be mush, what is a left leg, and cross that over your right leg. Now, if comfortable for your knees and your hips, bend the right leg in also, so long as both sit bones can be on the floor. Left fingertips behind the back. Inhale, lift the right arm up, lift ribs up. Exhale, cross the right arm to the outside of your left leg. Now you can either stay here, using every inhale to lift the chest up, a downward energetic through the right arm, or starting to work more of an interlock, bringing that right arm under the left thigh and finding the clasp. If it feels like you're frantically thrashing your way into it, it may not be worth it right now. Well, it's definitely not worth it. Wherever you are in the twist, inhale, lift the low ribs on your back away from your pelvis. Your shoulder blades are down, but lift that region of your back away from your low back. Shoulder blades down. Those of you who are in the clasp, push down with the right arm at the same time. Inhale, lean weight into your left hip. Exhale, and lean into that left hip a bit more. Yeah, and then lift chest up. Keep your skull bones over your sit bones. Inhale, release the arms. Switch the cross in your legs. Oh, just as you got there. Inhale, bring left elbow up. Exhale, hook that left elbow to the outside of the right leg. You've done a lot of twists today, so start to navigate your way into this real smooth. Make sure right sit bone is down, otherwise your back will get really snarly. If it can't go down, straighten the left leg out. Inhale, lift your ribs up away from your pelvis. Exhale, pull shoulder blades down, but lift collarbones up. That's simultaneously. That's an advanced move. If you wish to work the interlock, left hand is coming underneath right leg. Ideally, keeping the arms going around the thigh rather than going around the shin bone, and finding the hands behind you. If it tweaks your shoulders, don't worry about it right now. It's not our apex move. You've already done that. Bronwyn, keep the head up. It's doing like a weird dance. Mike, push your left elbow down. So if you've ever seen WrestleMania, it's called pile driver. It's like, grrr. Pushing down as you lift the chest up. I do not encourage you to watch WrestleMania. Luckily, no one was hurt making it. Inhale, bring your torso back to center. Frog belly down over the roll. Some of you may need the block under the roll as well if the roll isn't in contact with your abdominals. Some of you may not need the roll. Fold your mat lengthways so you have sufficient padding underneath your knees. That is the only part that will need it. The knees are going wide on the mat. Knees are in line with the hips. Heels in line with the knees, similar to your frog lifting through earlier. Feet are flexing. Roll is coming down under the abdominals. Resist the urge to just roll forwards into a belly down Shavasana. So that was resist the urge. If you find the roll is more just there as like emotional support and isn't actually touching you physically, put a block under it. Stuart, move your hips back a bit so your hips are in line with your knees, and just look after those inner knees if they start feeling a little snarly. So roll is under the belly. Jennifer, take the knees further apart, so slide the knees out a bit more. So let them keep going until you can't keep going. Oh yeah, there we go. It's like night and day. Now breathe into that spot in your back. that you chose to work on today. If you find after a couple of breaths that the tension melts away, then you may be able to lower whatever support you have down. Jillian, move the hips back over the knees. That's it. So you're keeping the knees bent. Inhale, move your low ribs away from your pelvis. Exhale, draw your shoulders down, but tuck tailbone that way. Yes, that's it. So you don't want to collapse too much here. So lift up here. That's it. You getting that in the hips now? Yeah, okay. Use your arms to do a very gentle cobra action in the ribs. So without pulling your pelvis forwards, just move your ribs forwards. Remove any rolls from underneath your abdominals or blocks. Roll forwards onto your abdominals once all that stuff's out the way. Once you're on your abdominals, slowly let the legs come back together and give yourself a moment on your abdominals. Yeah, that splat moment. Now, gently bring yourself up. And then you're at a perfect point where all of your equipment is a mess, your mat is a mess, everything's a mess. Where do you need to go now that everything's a mess to get the best Shavasana? So maybe because your mat's a mess, you want to take it to the wall, or you want to use some of your props. Choose a position for Shavasana that will be conducive to work with that spot in your back. So what would that be for you right now? So keep your awareness in your body for now. Wall people, make sure your pelvis is definitely on the floor. Get a feel for your feet, your calves. Take a deep breath and send it down to those areas. Hold your breath, flex your feet, engage your calves, draw the tissue up around your knees. Exhale, relax those muscles. Take a deep breath around your thighs, your buttocks, your low belly. Hold your breath, engage your quads, squeeze your buttock muscles. Exhale, relax, and soften these big muscle groups. Take a deep breath around your chest, your abdominals, your back muscles. Hold your breath, engage your chest, squeeze your back muscles. Exhale, relax, softening the areas of your back you've been working on. Take a deep breath, feel down into your hands. Hold your breath, make fists with your hands, squeeze your forearms, your biceps, your shoulder heads. Squeeze tight. Exhale, relax them. Now take a deep breath around your skull bones. Hold your breath, purse your lips, scrunch up your face, squeeze your eyes shut, squeeze around your ears. Exhale, relax that. If you still feel really in your head, repeat that squeeze and release another time, or just let yourself be still in your Shavasana. gradually start expanding your breath down through your back into your hips. Use the spot you chose in your back as a gateway into your hips. If you can set your hands onto that area, it will probably be on the front part of your body, but set your hands to that area. Run energy through your hands into that spot. So feeling the warmth of your hands on that area, feeling the breath move that spot. Bend your legs. Feet are setting to the floor. Roll to your left, and with a relaxed neck and watching out for your back, use your arms to come up from the floor. Left hand cradles the head to bring the head up. Sit up. Bring your hands together at chest. Namaste.